Hey team, I want to go over another topic that a lot of you are asking, and that is how to prepare for a race the week before. And obviously, I can only share my own experience, the things that I was doing over the years prior to my own races. I hope that maybe just hearing from my own side of it will be helpful for you. Usually, when I was racing 10Ks, half marathons, 10 milers, or marathons, I would always do a 3 mile run at goal race pace 4 days out from those particular races. And so when I was preparing for my races, again, I would do a 10-day taper rather than a 3 week taper. So I think that that is another key strategy. I think that a lot of you, if you start implementing that, will really help you go into your race feeling a lot more energized and not so lethargic, because I think a lot of times runners start dropping their volume and intensity way too far out from their main race. And really 10 days is plenty of time for your body to adapt and to recover and rejuvenate and heal itself going into your main goal race. And again, you want to go into your goal race feeling completely fresh, energized, ready to go. You don't want to feel like you're stressed out or you're fatigued. And I think if you start dropping that volume and intensity too far out from your race, you may feel that way. And it's not to say that athletes that are doing 3 week tapers won't get some great results by doing that. In most cases, a 3 week taper is optimal for most athletes, but there are other athletes out there that really will get a huge benefit from just significantly dropping your volume and intensity 10 days out from your race rather than going 3 to say even 4 weeks out from your race. So in terms of how do you prepare for a race the week before, definitely focus on your sleep habits. Make sure you're getting enough sleep 6 days leading into your goal race, and don't sweat not being able to sleep that much the night before. It's very natural to not be able to sleep the night before a race. So really the key in terms of how to prepare for a race the week before, make sure you're getting plenty of sleep those days before the main race. And so that way you're definitely rested going in. That will definitely help you both physically as well as mentally, but also making sure that, hey, if I can't sleep that great the night before, at least I know I was sleeping well and I really paid attention to that. Obviously, carbo loading, making sure that you're getting plenty of carbohydrates and really stocking up on glucose going into or glycogen going into your goal race. These longer races, they're much more aerobic in nature, but they also require a great deal more of, obviously, glycogen plus fat storage. Your ability to utilize those particular energy systems, energy stores of the body. It's also very, very key to train the body to utilize what it has much more of, which is fat storage, and conserve what it has much less of, which is glycogen. So you can really save that glucose and that sugar, that glycogen storage for the latter stages of your race, so that you're not slowing down when your competition is going to be either speeding up or maintaining the pace. When a lot of athletes, when we run low on that, or we spend too much of our time running aerobically, we've gotten very, very good at building endurance, burning fat at slower speeds, but you want to learn to burn fat at faster speeds. And that way you're not hitting that so-called wall. Okay, I didn't hit a wall when I ran 2:19. And most of my other races, my PRs for the 10-mile half marathon, 5K on the roads, and the marathon itself, I never hit a wall. But I have hit a wall several times in those longer races when I didn't prepare well. Okay, and a lot of that comes back to really paying attention to what the best runners are doing and how they're setting up their training. Okay, they're spending a higher percentage of their weekly volume running at or below their anaerobic threshold. So again, they're getting very, very good at improving their body's lactate tolerance, their ability to clear lactic acid faster than it's building up. They're able to sustain their goal race paces for a longer period of time versus their competition that may just be equally as prepared, equally as capable in terms of their mental and physical capabilities, but they just they have not trained significantly enough at a high enough intensity for a long enough period of time. And again, as I always preach, yes, training hard is important, but also slowing down and jogging and taking those easy days very, very easy, so that again you can continue over a long period of time, several weeks, several months. You can continue to get faster and faster and faster, because again, you're allowing your body enough time to heal itself and to adapt to what you're doing. Okay, some days you're going to need 2 to even up to 3 days of recovery, especially after those longer varied pace long runs that I talk about. Okay, there were several times over the years that I needed up to 3 days of recovery because those long runs were so demanding. They were so hard, and that's one of the key factors. I mean, that helped me go from a 113 half marathoner to a 107.06, and the marathon from 243.36 to 219.35. Okay, I can only share my own experience. Obviously, we all as athletes, regardless of our times, have our own expertise, our own backgrounds, our own stories of how we got faster over a long period of time. But really, how you prepare the week the week before your race is really going to dictate how you perform on race day. Okay, the week before a race, do not overanalyze and worry about your competition, worry about the weather conditions. Okay, if the weather conditions aren't optimal on if you're looking at the 7-day forecast and it looks like a horrible day, just remind yourself, okay, my competition is going to be out there with me as well. So I have to handle this both mentally and physically. I've done the work, I put in the hard work. The weather conditions may not be optimal, but I can also utilize drafting off of other athletes in the race. There's going to be somebody in front of you. Okay, there was always somebody in front of me as well in many of my own races, and I always utilize that drafting option where you're not expending all of your energy trying to lead the race or trying to run a significant portion of that race in front, because they're going to do it to you guys, okay, and gals. So make sure that you're doing that as well. Also, in terms of how to prepare for a race the week before, also continue to remind yourself to run the tangents in the race. Okay, always do the very best you can to run the least amount of distance as you can in the race. Okay, if you're running on the road and you're running in the middle of the road and you see well up ahead of you a right-hand turn, I would advise for you to get on the right-hand side of the road instead of running in the middle lane of the road or on the far left of the road. Because those athletes that are on the right they're running less distance than you are. It's these little things that if you pay attention to, are really going to pay huge dividends for you in the race. In terms of how to prepare also for a race the week before, make sure you're visualizing yourself, seeing yourself performing at a high level in the race. Okay, continue to remind yourself to stay as relaxed as you can, not only in your training, but also in the race itself. The athletes that are most relaxed are most oftentimes, as well as middle to long distance runners, as well as sprinters, most of the time, those athletes that are the most relaxed are the ones that get the most out of their bodies and perform at the highest levels. Okay, so keep these things in mind in terms of how to prepare for a race the week before. Those are some of the things I really want you guys and gals to really keep in mind. Just be confident in yourself. Know that you've put in the heavy work. There's not really anything else you really can do at this point aside from paying attention to the little fundamentals. Do a 3-mile run at goal race pace 4 days out from your goal race. If it's like a 10K, half marathon race, 25K, a 20K, those types of longer races, do a 3-mile run at goal race pace 4 days out, and then the 3 days leading into your race, it's really just a matter of just doing some easy jogging, some light strides, 3 to 4 100-meter strides. I would advise either taking the day off the day before or taking the day off 2 days before your race and then running the day before. Okay, if you're not going to take the day off the day before, take that day off 2 days before and then just jog maybe 2 miles easy, 3.2 kilometers easy the day before your race if you choose to do that. So I hope this is helpful in terms of how to prepare for a race the week before. And if you have any other questions, feel free to leave me a comment below. I'll definitely reach back out to you and respond to and answer any questions you have. And definitely check out the resources below these videos, as well as on RunDreamAchieve.com, as well as the merch store. Definitely got some new designs that are coming on a routine basis as well, and hope you like that as well. So I wish you all the best, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.